Today's Girl Which Way show is brought to you by Shaleea Speaks. Shaleea Speaks is the umbrella that the Shaleea brand stands under. Whether it's coaching sessions, books, or speaking, Shaleea Speaks is the vehicle that gets my voice out to you all. Visit shaleavinny.com and book a coaching session, find out more about me, grab one of my books, and more. I can't wait to connect more with you. Hello and welcome to the Girl Which Way podcast, the show that exists because life is a journey, but you still need direction. Grab your tribe and get ready, because each episode we'll be talking about our real life issues, answering questions, and building solid relationships with one another as we heal and learn. I'm your host, your girl, Shaleea Vinny, and today's show is for the ladies. We've talked about cheating before. We've talked about being the side chick. But I want to dive a little bit deeper. Specifically, I want to talk about the wife and the side chick and what they can learn from one another. This will hopefully be a conversation to reflect, heal, and understand one another better by the end. I will even share my own personal experience with you. Can we talk about it? There is never a week that goes by that I don't get your messages and comments about cheating. It seems to be one of the biggest issues that couples are dealing with. Wife versus side chick versus wife. It's always a battle between the two women. Now, disclaimer, I am the wife, so I'll always side with the wife and the word of God because I believe marriage is a covenant between man, wife, and God. However, be that as it may, that does not mean that life, coaching countless couples, and my own personal experience hasn't caused me to be empathetic and to understand. If you've ever read my books or even listened to this show, you know that I've dealt with cheating in my marriage before. I have been crazy, I have fought, I've cried, I've dealt with the other woman. It's given me a unique perspective and caused me to change my heart towards the other woman. The biggest lesson I think I've learned is that she is not the enemy. As the wife, you may feel that you have the right to fight for your husband, your marriage, and of course your family. As the wife, you have a lot to lose. You've invested time, years, love, and energy with this man. So it's not unrealistic to want to hold on to what you've built or to be caught in your feelings and to lash out at the other woman. We often look for someone to blame, and because we still love our husbands, we use the other woman as a scapegoat. She is the problem. Surely your husband slipped into bed with her and she seduced him, right? He couldn't have possibly pursued her, right? Of course not. It's all on her, and that grown-ass man had nothing to do with any of it. Yeah, okay. Then there's the side chick. She may be enjoying the ride. She may be simply having fun with him, or she might have developed genuine feelings for him. The first thing my mind goes to is, why on earth would a woman put herself into such a predicament? What kind of woman would knowingly sign up to be number two? What mindset do you need to be in to call someone's husband your man? How could someone else's husband be your boyfriend? It makes no sense at all to a lot of us, but if you think there aren't women who knowingly sign up for all of the above, you would be surprised. There's tons of them. But what I have learned is she always has a story too. And just because you or I can't fathom being a side chick and or sleeping with another woman's husband does not mean that she has an issue with it. Everyone has their own moral compass. Everyone has their own belief systems, and everyone has a different upbringing, which has led them to think and act the way that they do. This is hard to swallow, but it has to be said. What is wrong to some of us, whether due to our religious views or our character, is meaningless to someone who doesn't share your viewpoints. Everyone doesn't have the same foundation. We dehumanize her and make her out to be some kind of whore. And yes, this may be true, but she is just as human as anyone else. The hardest truth is that she would not be in your life if your husband had not invited her. Women always go after each other and wait for the best woman to win, when they should instead look at the one common denominator tying them together, the man. The hope of the man is that his wife never finds out so he can have his cake and eat it too. They typically don't care if the side chick knows, but the wife is usually kept in the dark. Because all things that are done in the dark always come to the light, the wife eventually finds out. Now, needless to say, she is not happy about it. He doesn't really want to lose his wife, so he of course tells her this girl means nothing to him. He apologizes, says he'll change, he'll cut the girl off, and pleads with his wife not to leave him. He makes it clear that he doesn't want anything to do with the girl and only cares about his wife and his family. Now, on the other side, he's told the side chick what she needed to hear as well. I have love for you. You matter. I love your body and what we do in the bedroom. Oh, my wife is crazy. She won't leave me. I'm unhappy with my wife. I'm leaving my wife, but it's just not the right time. I just can't leave my wife right now because I don't want to hurt her. She deserves better, and, hurting her is not something I can do. I'm staying because I don't want to split my assets in half or pay her support. I'm staying for my kids. My wife is mentally unstable. She might hurt herself. Oh, the excuses are endless. Sometimes they even tell the mistress the truth straight out. Like, I'm not leaving my wife. What we do is what we do. I like you, but I won't leave my wife for you. And I don't want to be with you on a permanent basis. I love my wife. She is often okay with this full-blown truth because she often thinks that she can change his mind if she screws him right or keeps building a connection with him. Sometimes she just makes the decision to see him anyway, despite all of his baggage, because she enjoys the time they spend together. The point is, he told her something to keep her around, just like he told his wife something trying to keep her around. Both women have been told a different version of the same lie, and both women now need to decide what they want to do with that information. Today's Girl Which Way show is brought to you by Shaleea Speaks. Shaleea Speaks is the umbrella that the Shaleea brand stands under. Whether it's coaching sessions, books, or speaking, Shaleea Speaks is the vehicle that gets my voice out to you all. Visit shaleavinny.com and book a coaching session, find out more about me, grab one of my books, and more. I can't wait to connect more with you. So we've been discussing what happens when two women deal with the same man and how it impacts them both. Now I want to dive a little deeper and talk about what both women can learn from each other and to share some personal info. First, I want to talk to the other woman. Here are 5 things you can learn if you are the other woman. Number 1, believe the wife. Did he tell you that he and his wife are unhappy and headed for divorce? Now I want you to think about it. Has his wife ever called you? Has she ever popped up in person? Did you hear hurt and pain in her voice? Did you see it written on her face? Does she really look like a woman who is no longer in love with that man? If you're honest with yourself, do you think this woman is doing all that she is doing or has done because she's ready to let him go? Perhaps you should read into the situation and see there's more to the story than what you've been told. Clearly, this woman is fighting for her marriage because she still believes it's intact. Ask yourself why. Number 2, she knows him better than you do. You may have genuine feelings for him, but you don't know that man like that woman knows her husband. In fact, most of what you think you know is a carefully constructed lie that he has fed you. Sure, you get glimpses of his true self from time to time, and it's not to say that he's always disingenuous, but that lady really knows him. Good times, bad times, hopes, fears, lies, the worst parts of him, his secrets, and the ugly truth. She knows his patterns and his behaviors. If that woman tells you something about her husband like he's lying, this not going to end well, you're not the first, he doesn't care the way that you think he does, or anything else directly pointing to the heart of his character, understand that she knows what she's talking about and she has seen a thing or two with this man. He can't hide his truth from her the same way he can hide it from you because you don't know him well enough to see through it the way that she does. Number 3, watch him. He's leaving, right? He's unhappy, right? Have you ever seen him interact with his wife? Like if you've seen her in person, did he try to protect her feelings or yours? Did he leave with her or stay with you? Has he ever told you to leave his wife alone, for example? Like you speak to her and he calls you and asks you not to call his wife. Does he give you the bare minimum? Like he never stays the night, he's always on the clock when he visits, and he's worried that she'll find out. He may turn off his location when he's with you. He may only see you at certain times, probably when she thinks he's working. He probably doesn't take you on dates or out in public, not because he doesn't want to, mostly because he can't. It's too risky that she may find out the truth. This is also why you probably don't see him as often as you'd like. He has to make sure his wife doesn't get too suspicious or wonder where he is. Now, does this sound like someone who is leaving their marriage or someone who is trying to keep his wife in the dark because he doesn't want to lose her? Does this sound like he has any intention of making a commitment to you? The signs are overwhelming. All you have to do is pay attention. Number 4, trying to hurt the wife. Not all, but some mistresses are malicious and cruel. They intentionally try to hurt the wife, either as a way to help her to leave her husband or simply out of spite. Some send videos and or messages to the wife. Some show up unannounced. Some call and tell secrets. They might try to record themselves having sex with the husband and send it back to the wife. Some butt dial the wife while they're together with her husband so she can hear sex or fun or noise, whatever that is in the background. And I've seen some get pregnant just to hurt the wife. Now, to be clear, if she had feelings for the man and wound up pregnant, it took 2 to get to that point. He obviously was a willing participant. However, I have seen women break condoms, not take their plan B, lie about birth control, use the turkey basting method, and more to purposely get pregnant by another woman's husband. And it's very sad. And all in an effort to take a dig at the wife while simultaneously breaking up their marriage for good and building a new family for them. Let me be clear when I say this. Intentionally trying to hurt the wife is the lowest thing you can do. She is the only innocent person in this situation. She is his wife, not you. She has every right to wonder who you are and to try to cope with all of her feelings. She is way more invested in him than you are. You're mad at her for being upset about something you did. How dare you have the audacity to be upset with her when you're the one creeping around with her husband? He is not your man. He is her husband. That logic will never make sense, and it shows you have a ton of growing up to do, and you're the one that needs to heal. Your anger is misplaced when you're mad at her. Number 5, it may backfire. If you think God will bless your mess, you are sadly mistaken. Marriage is not a piece of paper that 2 people sign. It's a covenant with that couple and God. Those vows are vows they took to each other and God. People lie and cheat every day, of course. But just because people do things does not make it right. God will not send your dream man in the form of another woman's husband. You have already established the fact that he is a liar and a cheater. Do you think that he will be better for you? You will always have to question where he is and what he's doing, because you will remember those secret nights you had with him. And what happens when the fantasy wears off and you two become the real deal? Will he still feel the same way when it's more than sex and it's a full-blown relationship? Will you? It's easy to lust after each other when you're not around each other every day. There's lots of thrill in the chase, but after the chase is when times get real. This is why studies show that most men regret it when they leave their wives for the other woman. Most men cite it as the biggest mistake of their lives, and many ex-wives will tell you how often their ex-husbands try to come back home, even after being seemingly happy with the woman he cheated with and left for. For so many reasons, it is so not worth it. Be careful, because he can string you along and tell you everything you need to hear. But at the end of the day, it will most likely backfire, and he will want to either not be with you or he'll make things work with his wife. Now, wifey baby, I need you to listen too, because there's some things we can learn as well. Number 1, believe her. Just as she needed to listen to you, you could also learn if you listen to her. Take your feelings out of it. He has lied to you too, or at the very least omitted key details. She may tell you things he's done or said or about key pieces of their relationship that he did not tell you. Of course, you have to take all info with a grain of salt, because some women do exaggerate on purpose to get to you. But listening to her will help you to know more so you can move accordingly. Clearly, something is going on that shouldn't be. Number 2, the blame game. Stop placing the blame solely on her. She had some help being a homewrecker. Yes, of course she is wrong for knowingly interacting and sleeping with a married man, but he is not innocent. You can't be so busy focused on her that you miss his part in it. Times have changed. There was a time where it was frowned upon and you were ashamed to be a mistress, but nowadays women will tell you with no hesitation that they don't owe you anything because they're not the ones married to you. He is. It sucks. And it's immorally wrong, but they're not wrong. Yes, lots of us would never be a part of the destruction of another woman's marriage or her heart, For many of us, a ring means a stop sign and we would never. But if it doesn't apply to your man's mistress, then you must understand, while her character may be questionable, it's your man that opened the door for her. Number 3, she believes him. You have no idea what he has told her behind closed doors. Whatever he told her, even if it wasn't true, she believed him enough to hang on to him. The same way he's telling you that he's done with her, he might be telling her he's done with you. He wants a future with her. He wants to have babies with her, and that she's the one for him. Even if he's running game on her to keep her right where he wants her, she might think he's sincere and fall deeper for him. It doesn't matter what he says or how you feel. If she believes him or thinks there was more inside of her heart, that's all that matters. You don't get to tell her how she should feel. Her feelings are just as valid as yours. Number 4, it has nothing to do with you. It does not matter what you do, how attractive you are, how good you have it in the bedroom, or how much you love him or how well you treat him. If he wants to cheat, he's going to cheat. We need to let go of the idea that him cheating means you lack something. Nope. It means he lacks something. He's the one being deceitful and breaking his vows. She is not better than you in any way. It's not on you. Take your feelings of inadequacy off the table, babe. None of it is easy, and it's something that I've dealt with firsthand that almost broke me. I grew and learned from the situation, but it's been a hard road. I was forced to confront my worst fears. I love my husband more than anything in the world, but he hurt me more than I've ever been hurt in my life. And the thought that we wouldn't be together after spending our whole lives together crushed me. It felt like he didn't care anymore. So I asked him for a divorce and got the papers for him to sign. At first, he refused to sign, and he was adamant that he would not live without me. He wanted to fight for our marriage, but I was all out of fight. Then I wanted to fight for our marriage, and he was adamant that he did not, and felt that he would rather be single, and that he was all out of fight. I was heartbroken during both scenarios. I think we both were, but for different reasons. I was vulnerable and began planning what I was going to do next. I told him that I wanted nothing from him, no alimony or child support, and that we could share custody of our kids. He could leave with what he had, and I would leave with what I had, just as to not prolong things any longer than needed. I knew the kids and I would be just fine, and that I could more than take care of us by myself, and I was so grateful for that. He was clear that he didn't want the girl and would never be in an exclusive relationship with her. But since his relationship with her was the catalyst for the destruction of ours, it felt to me like he did. 'Cause why would you ruin our marriage for someone you don't even want? If he wanted her, I told him he should go and get her. And I went and filed the papers, as we both agreed it was just the right thing to do. When I filed the papers, I wanted to call her. I wanted to go off on her, maybe even pull up on her. I wanted her to know the truth about each lie he had told her. I wanted her to know that he had shown me all of their secret messages on their texting app, even the ones that broke me down and outlined all of his guilt. I knew it all, and I wanted her to know it. I wanted to rub it in her face and to get back at her by calling her out on the lies that she had believed from some of the messages he sent her. I wanted to make her feel stupid, but then what was that going to do? She hadn't ruined my family. He did. But I still couldn't get past the anger and unforgiveness that I was harboring towards her. And then the most amazing thing happened. I was on my knees praying one day, and God told me that he was going to use the situation to build up my faith even stronger. And before I knew it, I was praying for this young woman. I couldn't stand her. Mostly because she was not kind to me and purposely tried to hurt me and laughed in my face, when at the very least I felt that as a woman she should have understood my pain. But here I was praying for her. I mean, like sincere prayers, guys. It's like all the anger I felt towards her turned into compassion, and I actually began to feel sorry for her. It's like I could somehow see her like never before. She was hurt in the situation too. Yeah, she did it to herself because she knew he was married, but she believed she loved him and that it was mutual. She was lied to as well. She was processing her feelings just like I was processing mine. She was mourning the loss of their relationship the same way that I was mourning the loss of our relationship. So I began to pray, and I asked God to heal her heart too. I asked God to forgive her for her part in the situation, because she did knowingly commit to adultery as well by being with a married man. I asked God to look after her and to help her to be better and to know that she deserves better. I literally cried out to God on her behalf because my discernment showed me that she had been through a lot in her life, and every decision that she has made is because of the experiences of her past. So to this young woman, I just want you to know that I am sorry. I'm sorry that you were also hurt in the situation. I'm sorry for everything that happened to you because we were both victims of the same charming man, and I forgive you for the things you said and the messages that you sent and every other way that you tried to hurt me, because now I understand that you were operating from a place of hurt. For anything that I said or did, I am so sorry. I let my emotions lead me and take me out of character because I was fighting for my family. But it is my sincere hope and prayer that you heal from this and from every other situation from your past that has hurt you. You deserve to be happy and to find peace. You're not my enemy, so I cannot hate you or judge you any longer, but I will continue to pray for your soul. You taught me a lot about love and life and myself and God. You helped me to grow and to be better than ever, and for that, I have to thank you. Ladies, no matter what, if you are the wife or the mistress, there is growth to be had and something you can learn from the situation and each other. We are so accustomed to being in competition with the other woman that our hate for each other can overshadow and misplace the anger we should be feeling towards the man. Two women can be in love with the same man and still not be in love with the same man. He's giving you both different things to keep you hanging on. No one deserves to be anyone's second choice. Before you choose to be a side chick, don't. Never catch feelings for someone so much that you overlook the red flags and find yourself accepting tiny pieces of them because you would rather have a tiny piece than nothing at all. You deserve better. Wives, you took vows, and of course you love your husband, but don't ever love your husband so much that you can't see the red flags. You deserve a husband you can trust, who makes you feel secure in the relationship because he's putting in the same effort as you. Both of you ladies have all the power because men can only do what we allow. Stand up. As for me and my husband, we're family and will always be. I will always love him and vice versa. We continue to work on our relationship and our friendship one day at a time, and we remain very close. We're doing the hard work together, and God's will be done. We have spent more than half of our lives loving each other, and realization has set in that neither one of us really wants to be without the other one, even still. I hope this show and my transparency has helped someone to heal today. I love you all so much, and I'm rooting for you every day. Love you guys. Today's show was brought to you by Shaleea Speaks. Please rate the show on your favorite streaming platform and share it with one person who you think needs to hear it, and then ask them to do the same. Remember, good, better, best. Never let it rest. Till your good is better and your better is best. Until next time, your friend and motivator, Shaleea. Bye.